Cynthia, do you feel that you've been ripped off?
Yes, because I went in with the feeling that Chris was going to be in movies or have a career in television, and I came out of this with nothing.
This story and more right here on Welcome to Fight Back. This is the famous Hollywood sign. It tells you this is the groovy movie capital of the world, and people come here to become instantly rich and famous in movies and TV. Many of them get ripped off trying it because they fall for fast talking and empty promises made by phony talent promoters. The lure of Hollywood seems to reach everywhere, particularly promises of fame and fortune for young people in television, movies, and commercials. That's a fertile area for rip-off artists. One viewer, Cynthia Carino of Riverside, California, found out about that the hard way.
I was at work and I heard on the radio, I don't remember what station it was, but they were advertising that they needed kids for different television shows that they had openings for. And so I called them for my daughter, and they said she was too young. So I asked about my son, and they said that he would be fine as long as he could come out there and show them that he had potential. And so I made an appointment, and my husband and I took him out on a Saturday.
Cynthia and her son Chris were very impressed with the offices of what looked like a busy talent agency. The agency said it was auditioning several children for an upcoming TV tape, and Chris was a natural for it.
I filled out a confidential questionnaire, and in it there was a statement saying that the tape would be seen by millions of people and by all the major casting agents and producers in the United States. And they gave him a small part to do, a paragraph, and gave him about 5 minutes to memorize it. And the man left the room, he came back, and Chris was able to read it to him. And he said that that was fine. Before we left there that day, we signed one of the contracts and paid them the $4.95. The $4.95 was to pay for 15 seconds of airtime, and it was also for the videotape that they were going to show.
That's the tip-off to the rip-off, paying money up front for getting a potential part on a TV show. But there's more. Cynthia was told Chris was so talented that he was qualified for a bigger part, but it cost $2,495. Cynthia said she couldn't afford the $2,500, so Chris was offered a smaller part for only $1,975. You actually paid $1,975 up front?
Yes, besides the $495 I paid, which came to a total of $2,460.
Then what happened?
We went home and came back the following Saturday. There was a sign on the door saying that all the rehearsals had been canceled and that they would contact everyone. I got a hold of the owner of the building, and he said that they left there and they owed him a lot of money. And he gave me their new address and phone number, and I called them, and they answered the phone in a new name. And I asked to speak to the person that got Chris started, and he wasn't no longer there. I asked for the secretary. She was no longer there. They've never heard of these people. And then I got a call from one of the mothers of the little girl that was there. Her mom called me, and she said they are filing bankruptcy.
Cynthia, do you feel that you've been ripped off?
Yes, because I went in with the feeling that Chris was going to be in movies or have a career in television, and I came out of this with nothing.
Legitimate talent agents and agencies work differently. Super agent Nina Blanchard of Hollywood has been in the business for 30 years. She is one of the most successful talent and modeling agents in the United States. She has launched the careers of hundreds of top artists. Nina told me what she thought of Cynthia's situation.
I think that these people that prey on the people that want this fantasy so much, I think it's disgusting. I think it's abominable, hideous. There are some children used on TV, and I realize this is all very seductive when you hear about this child that makes this much money and all of that. And of course it's tempting to see if your child can do it. But just take my advice. Don't open up your wallet, your purse to anybody for money before you are in the business. You can't buy an agent. You can't buy your way into the business. It's not possible.
So I would say probably when somebody starts asking for money, you just place your hand on your billfold or purse and exit out the door, because this is not somebody that's going to do something for you. They're just going to help you separate you from your money.
Cynthia, is there a lesson here that you learned?
Oh yeah, not to ever pay money up front.
If you're interested in a career in the entertainment business, check with the local or regional offices of the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, or the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, AFTRA. They have lists of legitimate agents. Check them out before you sign on the bottom line. And if anyone ever says you or your child is gorgeous, then ask you for money up front to make you a star, that's the tip-off to the rip-off.
Well, I mean, if somebody said, gee, you look gorgeous, I'll put you in a movie, Nina, maybe I would have done it too at that age. But the fact is that people check more about their plumbers than they do about handing money over to some kind of scam in our industry.
We'll be back after this. Deadbolt locks like this one are supposed to keep intruders from breaking in. But for a professional burglar, a deadbolt can mean an invitation into your home. All it takes is a drill, an ice pick, and a twist of the wrist to move the bolt mechanism and open the door. But the makers of the Champs lock shield say that can't happen with this simple metal plate installed inside the lock. Champs distributor Ted Lawson came all the way from Dallas to prove that claim. How does it protect the lock?
Well, it's a tempered steel alloy that stops it from getting to the bolt actuator and manipulating the actuator back.
How difficult are they to install?
Very easy. If you're least bit mechanically inclined at all, if you can take the lock off the door, you can put the shield on and put the lock back together again.
All right, let's see how that works, Ted, and we're going to see if the Champs device will stand up to a professional lock picker, okay?
All right.
The company's reputation's on the line. Okay, we're going to try it. Michael Scott is a former burglar. Can he get past the Champs lock shield?
What's happening here is some type of sleeve or something down there that's keeping me from putting the tool down there to move the latch back. And there's also a shield down there that's keeping me from drilling a hole through it.
Okay, Ted, we've tried to break in. You can come out now. And this is Michael who tried to do it. And guess what? What happened, Michael?
Well, that sleeve stopped me dead in my tracks there. It even broke the drill bit when I tried to drill through it there to get that latch to move back.
That's what it's designed to do.
Oh, that's exactly what it did.
$20 seems like a lot to pay for a pair of stamped metal plates. But the Champs lock shield apparently does what it claims to do. And if it turns away a burglar, it's worth the price. Still, homeowners should remember that no door lock will make a house burglar-proof. It won't stop a thief from kicking in the door or breaking out a window. The best a lock can do is to make a break-in so difficult and noisy and time-consuming that the burglar gives up and leaves before he's caught in the act. Speaking of being caught in the act, now from our consumer horror file. Jim Phillips, who lives in Waukesha, Wisconsin, sent me this letter. I thought this was a very unusual placement of signs. It seems at this prime meat store, they serve gas. I wonder what food group this falls under. Jim, I don't know, but gas is gas. Viewers send us a lot of unusual signs that seem out of place. Donald Erickson, who lives in Marionette, Wisconsin, sent us this one. And an optometrist right next door to the blind factory. Ann Meskey of Los Gatos, California, took this picture in Brisbane, Australia. She wonders if they are aware of the irony of the classic Aussie beer sign being above the Thirst for Jesus sign. But Mrs. Jean Gowie of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, came up with the winner. Foot clinic and dentist in the same office. She asks, Is this for people who are always putting their foot in their mouth? I don't know, Mrs. Gowie, but we like receiving all of your confusing and amusing labels, ads, and signs. Keep them coming, along with any commercials you might want to have us challenge or rip off you've come across. Our address, Fight Back, Burbank, California, 91523. And if I use your letter on the show, I'll send you a Fight Back t-shirt. The model here is 2-year-old Kelsey O'Keefe of Pasadena, California. Her t-shirt is used as a tea dress. She's the daughter of Jim and Dawn O'Keefe, who wanted Kelsey to have the shirt. And Kelsey, you look fabulous in it. And if I've sent you a Fight Back t-shirt, I'd like to see how you look. Have your picture or video taken in front of something you would like to show our viewers. If I use it on the show, I'll send you a Fight Back emergency pack that you can keep in your home, car, or boat. The Consumer Product Safety Commission banned the sale of 3-wheeled all-terrain vehicles and ordered the manufacturers to buy back unsold vehicles from their dealers. But the buyback order did not extend to those 3-wheelers already in use. And as a result, the toll of deaths and injuries among ATV riders has continued to mount. The number of ATV-related death and serious injuries will pass 500,000 by next year, according to government estimates.
What we're finding now is children are being injured and killed at the same rate on 4-wheeled ATVs as the whole population was on 3-wheels. I think it's a very, very dangerous machine. Children don't belong on them.
Manufacturers and dealers are lulling young people who especially lack the size and maturity to operate such hazardous vehicles into operating these machines as if they were safe and stable rather than treacherous.
The Institute for Injury Reduction wants the government to order ATV manufacturers to repurchase both 3- and 4-wheeled vehicles from owners who want to turn them in. The group also wants existing ATVs retrofitted with the latest safety devices, which are now standard equipment on new vehicles at no cost to the owners. What can you do at this point?
I favor a conditional ban, which would allow parents who have purchased adult-sized ATVs for their children to return those vehicles and get some sort of refund.
Do you think you can get that through?
We certainly have the authority at the Commission to do it, and I think it's very important to do that, because if the Commission were to say that this vehicle is so dangerous that we think it's worth banning, that would be a very positive message to parents to let them know how seriously dangerous these machines are.
The manufacturers say in order to buy back these machines would be not only enormously costly, but unnecessary. According to the Specialty Vehicle Institute of America, deaths and injuries involving ATVs have gone down 27% since 1985. Rather than recall ATVs, the manufacturers say that money could be better spent on rider education and safety training. Safety groups insist that no amount of training will make these machines safe for children to ride. These groups say the very least the government can do is force the manufacturers to buy back ATVs from those parents who want to get rid of them before their own children are injured or killed. That proposal is now before the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, and you can be sure that the ATV industry will fight it all the way. We'll be right back after this. One of our viewers feels that the stainless carpet manufacturers lie like a rug. Brenda White, who lives in Lubbock, Texas, writes, David, I think those stainless carpet commercials you see on TV are a fake. They always show the mess going on the carpet, and when the commercial ends, the carpet is clean. If these carpets are really stain-proof, why don't they show how they clean the carpets? Brenda, on a previous show, we used a Genesis carpet and stained it with ink, lipstick, shoe polish, hair color, and motor oil. Then we asked the company to show us how they were going to clean it. With us we have Don Barrett Jr., who's with Amico Fabrics and Fibers from Dalton, Georgia. He came here to show us that he could clean up this mess that we looked at. Now, how are you going to do it, Don?
Well, there are a number of different stains here. Most of them are strongly pigmented, and we'll use bleaches to bleach the pigments away. Lipstick is a very waxy, oily stain, and we'll use something to break the wax down. Each stain has its own unique, basically, solvent or cleaning agent.
Okay, now Don is ready to start the cleanup. Let's see how he does it. Would you like to have the job of cleaning this carpet?
Not necessarily, no.
Do you think it would clean up?
No.
Why?
Too much crap in there.
Brenda, now you can't say you've never seen how a stainless carpet is cleaned. I just want to make this point, though. Other manufacturers might have different ways of cleaning their stainless carpets, and if you're really interested, check out how they do it before you buy that model or make of carpet. And now I want you to pay particular attention to this announcement. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued a safety bulletin warning parents about a type of infant cushion on which nearly 3 dozen children have suffocated. Any surface that is soft and fluffy enough to cover a baby's face is potentially deadly, whether it's a comforter, a waterbed, or a pillow.
These are 3 infant beanbag cushions that were voluntarily removed from the marketplace by their manufacturers as a result of infant suffocations that were involved in at least 35 incidents here in the United States. The infant cushions are primarily soft, fabric-covered cushions that are loosely filled with foam pellet-type materials, beanbag-type pellets. The cushions conform very easily to the shape of any item that's placed on top of it. In almost all the incidents that we investigated, the children under the age of 4 months had been placed on the cushion for sleeping purposes and was found in a prone position on the cushion.
But though the manufacturers have pulled these cushions from the stores, the Commission says there still may be thousands of them in people's homes.
We're reasonably sure that those units that were available for sale are no longer for sale. However, we believe that consumers may still have some of these units. If parents, grandparents are aware of this type of cushion, perhaps in the closet or in the garage or storage area, we're recommending the parents, the consumers, to contact the manufacturer or to contact our agency for replacement and refund instructions, or to destroy them immediately, to actually rip them, tear them, destroy them, and not to use them, certainly.
If you have one of these beanbag cushions, check to see if it still has a manufacturer's tag attached. If it does, then you can call the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, and they'll tell you how to get a refund. They have a toll-free number. It's 800-638-2772. That's 800-638-2772. If you don't want to bother, fine, but at least get rid of that cushion. Throw it away. Don't give it to someone else. You'll only be compounding the danger that another infant will die of suffocation. We'll be right back after this. Leslie McKee, who lives in Brookfield, Wisconsin, spotted a really interesting sign. She wrote me, on a recent trip through Indiana, we came across this most unusual sign. Used cows for sale. Even though my husband and I live in the dairy state, we both thought this sign was utterly ridiculous. We laughed for several miles, then turned back to take this picture. Thank you, Leslie, for taking not only the time, but the picture and sending it to us so we could share it with our viewers. And it is utterly ridiculous. And one would have to have a lot of pull to get away with a sign like that. Well, I guess we've milked that joke for all it's worth. And remember, don't kowtow to anyone. Stay aware and informed, and fight back. And don't let anyone rip you off.
Furnished the four-wheel drive Explorer to help with our production transportation. The Fight Back emergency kit now includes a Maglite flashlight. The next time you need a flashlight, will yours work? Maglite flashlights, a work of art that works. Some of the participants on Fight Back will receive a Daisy Turbo Spa, which makes your bath an aerated whirlpool that soothes and refreshes you. Pamper yourself with a Daisy Turbo Spa.